Hello everyone. Welcome to this edition of Dishing Out Flavor. This is Jonquel, and today I'm experimenting in the kitchen with my two low-carb flours. I have two blends, and I've used a combination of both of them to create this dough here. And what I'm doing with this dough is making pizza. Now the dough is different, as you saw from the first picture, because it's coming out almost like my drop biscuit dough, but there's a few changes that I've made. So anyway, I've pressed it out in the pan because I didn't want to constantly keep adding oat fiber or a flour type product to it, and it ends up too dry and it gets too stiff. So I just oiled the pizza pan and then sprayed the top of it and just kept pushing it out from the center until it got close to the edges of the pizza pan. So I don't know if this is going to turn out as a thin crust or is it going to be a rising pizza crust. Excuse my words, I'm tripping up, which you guys should be used to that by now. I stumble on my words from time to time, but it's okay. It is okay. So let me get back to getting my toppings together, and then I'll be back to show you guys what this looks like before I pop it in the oven. Okay, so I have torn apart a couple of sticks of mozzarella because I'm out of shredded mozzarella. I mistook my shredded Parmesan for a bag of the shredded mozzarella, but that's okay. I'm going to work with what I have. I know I said that, I think, like in my last video, but that's okay. I had some mozzarella pearls, and so I've distributed those around the edges of the pizza. And here I'm experimenting by covering up some of the pearls, kind of like for a stuffed crust. And so I'm going to cover about 3 or 4 more of these, and the rest I'm just going to let melt and spread across the edge of the pizza. That way when I'm eating the pizza, I'll still have some cheese and stuff around the very top. So I don't mind experimenting. If I never try, I'll never know. So here's hoping. Okay, looking good, looking good. Again, here's hoping that everything turns out right. Be back in a moment. Okay, so I've covered 5 of these, and we're going to see how this turns out. That's about how it's looking. And then the rest is just going to melt and spread out. And I'm going to pop this in a 450-degree oven for 12 minutes. Be back in a bit. Okay, so I have this much dough left, which means I can still experiment. So here we go. All right, people. Let me go ahead and explain this. So it did cover up very well. I'm going to let it cool off just for a moment. And then, like I said, the rest of the mozzarella pearls, it melted and spread it out to cover the very edge of the pizza. And so within the last minute, I took it out, sprinkled on some mozzarella and some basil, and this is what we have. I'll be back to show you after I cut into it. Adios for now. Okay, DOF. Myself, my daughter, and my husband, we've all had a slice. Actually, my daughter had 2. So it wasn't a bad experiment. The toppings taste wonderful. The only thing is that the crust is very thin, but the crust, and I'm getting ready to do another one here, if you can really tell the distinction of a pie crust versus a pizza crust, this is what that resembles. So this is actually looking more of a pie crust than an actual pizza crust, which is still not wrong, especially if you want to make like the pizza pie type thing. that at some which has like that flaky crust, like a Pizza Pocket type thing. You want it to be bread-like but yet flaky. That's what this is, because as we look closer, you can actually see this looks more crust related. So not a bad experiment. So I'll put this out to you all if you want to make like pizza pockets and pizza rolls and stuff like that, and you're looking for that crusted type bread that mimics a crust versus a bread, but yet thin to where you can still taste all of your ingredients. That will be this. So let me wrap things up and move on to my next project, and I'll see you guys when I see you. Thank you for being members and followers of Dishing Out Flavor. God bless.